Welcome back to Old School AOT, and continuing with the Kronos theme that we've had lately, we are going to open up with a game between Mori Ferd, aka Ferd, the Thor expert from Japan, playing against TBE Shot Games, aka Troy, playing Kronos. And Troy will be opening up with what looks like an economic guild. Of course, Hunting Dog is going down from Troy, and it seems that Ferd has also gone for Hunting Dog, so we'll have to see if Ferd will soon go for Pig Sticker, perhaps, although he does not have what it takes yet. So Ferd, choosing to hold on to his Dwarven Mine, I guess out of fear of a Kronos rush. So definitely there's a lot of interesting play revolving around how Dwarven Mine is used. And it can definitely make or break a 4-player, I gotta say. I like Ferd's decision here. Troy was very much known and feared for his Kronos rush, so choosing to save it is probably a smart move, even though, as we can see, Troy is not going for the rush. But how could Ferd know that? There's no way. There's no way he could know. So, yeah. Excited to see what happens in this game. You see that Troy is going for a more standard scouting pattern since she's not rushing. So he will be, trying to get a good idea of what's around him, as this game will probably be lasting for a while. He does need to construct a manor soon, though, and there we go, the manor going down. Excellent. Don't want to be housed. It's never fun. This Oracle will find the hunting patch if it isn't bopped by a unit of Ferd. Same with this one over here. So now he's just going to try to get a read on what his opponent's up to. The looks like a Ferd coming in, just going for a little bit of aggression, attacking the Oracle. And Troy has Alt S to Oracle here, but he now will be pulling it back. Interesting. Third Oracle down here, just checking out, looking for gold probably. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold right now. So anyway, Ferd coming back, and he's probably dropping a temple away. Yes, there we go. Dropping the temple. And he's putting it in the back to try to just keep it safe from any potential rush or deconstruction. So yeah, I like that. I like that. Definitely don't want to put your temple too exposed. However, Troy will probably be able to figure out where it is, most likely. Villager coming out here to try to take out this Oracle when he goes down. Like a sack of bricks. So at this point, Troy is probably happy that he didn't go for the rush. You know, it seems that Ferd was ready. And Ferd will probably be advancing soon, as will Troy. So I'd imagine after this villager, we'll be seeing, yep. And he's second out. Oh, come on. There we go. So Troy losing a few seconds there, unfortunately. That's not good. But Ferd is not yet advancing either. Oh, there he goes, just now. Coming up with Freya, so it's not the end of the world. Ferd building a second separate temple in preparation for a decon. No special upgrades yet other than hunting dogs. And sending a villager to chase down yet another Oracle, which appears he's been chasing for a bit. So Ferd definitely prioritizing killing the Oracles over the economy, which in this case is not that useful, and I think it shows just how deep the fear of Troy's Kronos rush ran in players in the meta of this time. You know, people were so afraid that they'd give up, 30 seconds of villager time just to kill an Oracle, which is really not worth it, at least certainly if you're not getting rushed. So Troy did some damage to his opponent just by having his Oracle there, and he has already gotten decently good scouting off, so he has an idea of what's going on. Troy advancing. He's going to open up with a Krax and a Rax, which is the most optimal build now. At least it's considered to be. You see players opening with this in the 430 90% of the time. So it's interesting to see that Troy's doing it this game. You usually didn't really see it that often in the older days. Troy has advanced himself. Putting a Rax down and just building her Seer. We see his Valkyrie coming out over there. He is almost housed, so hopefully that will stop. This Promethean will, of course, just be repelled immediately. But he is going after a villager, so probably won't get it. For his house, but he's curing the problem. And we see Troy going for an early Kata and also being housed. Valkyrie coming in, that's annoying, but he does have the units to easily defend against the Valkyrie. Just making one Kata though, and putting auto Q on Manila, so just going to have one Kata Kelpte out to do some damage to those units, Raiders if they come. No Valor, and there we go, there comes Valor. Oh, too bad it wasn't that citizen specifically, and that citizen will now go down. It is going down for sure, 100%. So, slight play error from Troy. He really didn't need to lose that citizen. Unfortunate, but good thinking by Third to persist, even though there were military units of his opponent there. Third continuing to gather all this food in the front, taking advantage of the crocodiles, which actually have a decent amount of food, you know, 200 or so each, so it is worth it to hunt crocodiles. If any of you are wondering that, it's definitely worth it to hunt the crocodile. Most definitely. Raiders of Bird coming around the left here. And he can't see too much, but he's probably going to try to go back and just see if he can go back to a similar location to where he was before and try to find some more citizens. So, always good to keep your opponent on the toes. Bird was quite good at raiding with these units. He is checking here, just making sure there's nothing sneaky going on that he can punish. Now we see a big army from Troy is moving out. And this is a scary army featuring Mermillo, Prometheans, and some Cairo, so Third will probably be forced to retreat from this hunting spot, and he just seems to feel that, you know, something is coming, and he's retreating, which is fortunately a good time, as the army was just about to be there. Third is erecting this wall, so this should prevent Troy from having easy access to his base, although his front gold is quite exposed. However, since he's holding Dwarven Mine, even if he gets pushed off that location, he should be fine. The Raiders just come in here and give him some damage on these citizens, and he will kill this citizen. Yes, he will. Good raid. Very good raid by First. Coming in while his opponent was occupied with the front and killing one citizen for next to nothing. Good trap. At the same time, though, this army will start to harass the gold mine of Ferd. And that's annoying. At least Ferd has mined most of it out, so that is the saving grace. And Ferd will pull his units back. More raiders coming in. And, oh, he has once again trapped Troy. And, oh my gosh, that's devastating. I feel the pain of Troy right here. 3 villagers, oof. And that's why it's really important to try to keep an eye on your villagers, because not responding like that, that could be the game right there. I mean, we'll have to see. Of course, Troy's a very good player. He still could win this game, but losing 3 citizens in a minute. R2 spacing, you know, that can be game ending. Raiders taking a slightly favorable fight here. Now Troy is definitely trying to gold block, but unfortunately this wall is square, so he can't gold block this area. And Ferg is like, I'm not going to take any chances, so I'm just going to build a tower here, and this will prevent Troy from easily swarming me. So definitely some safe play from Ferg there. Clever, I would say. Meanwhile, Ferg's continuing this raid here. He's just killing the units that Troy makes to try to deal with it. But even so, we see how good the Catacalte is against Raiders, and you see that? That's ridiculous. However, that is less good, and oh no, fighting with your citizens, I don't like it, Troy. I don't like it one little bit, losing a citizen there. Oof. That was not a good move, and he probably will try to retreat them now. I sure hope he doesn't try to fight again. Oh, and he is trying to fight. I do not like this. Anyway, this fight is going down here, but Ferg just immediately pulls back. Citizens going back into the manor, and now the Prometheans coming out to fight. The Prometheans much better at fighting these guys, although he will be outnumbered and just die, so this is really agonizing to watch. Things like this happen when you sort of get caught off guard by your opponent, and you just start to make one suboptimal decision after another, losing another citizen, and it never feels good when it happens, and it never feels good to watch either, because it's just sort of painful. And a really good player can do this to you too, because their micro is just so on point. So they can take a small group of units that shouldn't be a huge threat, like the small groups of raiders that have been going around Troy's base, and just devastate player. Like, no joke, straight up devastate. I mean, raiders are actually quite a hard unit to raid with because of their low line of sight and just relative strength unupgraded. But really top Egyptian players of this era, like Third and Nemesis, and sometimes P3N, were able to like use them in a way that you really don't see with modern players anymore. Like a lot of modern players, they just don't have the skill to use these raiders the way they used to be used. So even though like their overall gameplay might be better in terms of like the effectiveness they can get out of groups of raiders, it just isn't there. Like Fur just did a great job body blocking those villagers. Of course, the second town center going up from Third, so that's going to put him in a, and I think working on Third too, yeah. Third. That's a good one, boys, not. So yeah, this is going to enter into a position for Troy where it's just going to become harder and harder for him to win, because as Thor starts to boom out and get techs, we of course head towards something that we know as Ragnarok. And let's just say Atlantean against Ragnarok never has been a great situation. It still isn't. More Rax coming up here from Third. Third, it just lets him make more army. It also gives him something to fall back onto. Like, it takes time for this Atlantean army to kill these, so it's not bad to have them. Armory going up now, so he will be able to start getting Pierce or whatever that will favor him during the fight. Not many upgrades from Third economy-wise. Troy actually with the more upgraded economy, having pickaxe and hand axe. So that should fly in your face with all the people that say Atlantean players. They never upgrade their economy. Bullshit, I tell you. And these front barracks are fulfilling their purpose, just kind of delaying our Kronos player while Third goes and does whatever he's working on. Continues to raid. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, poor Troy. I feel his pain. That was sad. So yeah. Oh my God! Look at all these Valks too. That is really scary. And Troy has this ice army here, but like, I don't know if it's really enough to win. And he's just using all his villagers in the meantime. He will be fighting her though. Definitely taking this fight, despite being by his opponent's racks, but at the same time, losing so many units in his base, and his economy has just now been reduced to absolute garbage with every single villager left, and there's not many of them being garrisoned. Ugh. So Ferd just mercilessly attacking his opponent's economy, and Troy kind of trying to go for the same thing, but like with the way Ferd built his base, it just hasn't been possible. Some really, really nasty Thor play, I gotta admit. For those of you who play Thor and haven't like checked out Ferd, I really recommend you go to RTS Sanctuary and just download some of his recorded games. I think because he was a Japanese player and, you know, didn't really go to all the big TV sites and stuff. He always played with his own unique spin, which really resulted in doing things with Thor that are kind of scary, you know. Like, what he did this game was sort of terrifying. And we do see that Troy is coming here with a huge army, but like that's all he has. His economy is just beyond Garbo. So he is going to try to Gold Star through Ferd, and he probably will for a second or two, but Ferd having all of this different land that he's controlling, he can just mine here, so the main Gold Star here doesn't even matter. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, that's all I can say. Ouch. It's quite painful to see. And Ferd will even save a few of these villagers by bringing them through this gate here, so that's very nice. We'll be seeing a tap out from Troy very soon. His population is just too low to really have any chance of winning this game. And we can definitely say that Troy was just beat by straight up raiding. You know, Ferd raided him and Troy wasn't paying attention. His focus was on his army. And he didn't react well enough. He didn't send much army back or anything. As a result, his opponent just moved dramatically ahead of him economically by killing his soldiers. It's a really nasty game from Ferd, I gotta say. Taking down our Kronos expert. And I can't help but wonder if Troy should have just rushed it. I mean, I understand why he doesn't want to because it's Marsh and there's so much hunt, but I don't know. 4 in a straight up game, that's very tough. Anyway, good game. We'll catch you next episode of Old School.